first thing you may want to do when deciding how to honor this time of Samhain/Halloween/ All Hallows Eve is to decide how you most relate to this time. Do you relate to it through the Sabbath of Samhain? Are you more familiar with it through the traditions of Halloween? While there is overlapping, there still are distinctions between them, and you don't want to force how you celebrate this time. You may just want to pull out your journal and really think about how do you relate to this late October season, and then from there you'll be able to pick and craft the celebrations, ceremonies, and rituals that most work and speak to you. Some of the themes around this season are transitions, ancestors, death, wisdom, endings, other worlds, and reincarnation. Some of the animals that are associated with this time are black cats, owls, ravens, and spiders. And the colors associated with this time are black, orange, brown, silver, and yellow. And some of the foods associated with this time are pumpkins, fermented foods, nuts, and apples. Now on to some ideas for how to celebrate this season. First up, you can make a haunted gingerbread house. I've always wanted to do this. I think it's a wonderful way for tapping into the season and is a fun thing that you could do collectively with those who live in your household or with friends. Create a haunted scavenger hunt. This is another fun thing you can do as a collective with friends or those who live in your home. You may want to create a scavenger hunt where you find new clues to a ghost story as you go. Or again, you could have tricks or treats laid out. This is a fun way of tapping into the season and sort of being a little more creative than just simply trick-or-treating. And you could decide to do this on the weekend before Halloween, since Halloween is on a Monday of this year. Prepare and have an ancestors meal. You may want to think about some of the favorite foods of your ancestors, or perhaps if you don't know them, you may want to think about regional dishes from where your ancestors were from and create some of those dishes to really tap into and celebrate your ancestors. Perhaps you'll want to host an ancestor potluck meal with some of your friends or your community so that you can share the dishes of your ancestors as you honor them and remember them at this time. Prayer. You may want to make space to do a prayer or some prayers that are to your ancestors or to the divine or anything that you connect with at this time. Get dressed up. This is something that can be embraced at any age, and you may want to be a little creative about how you think about how to dress up. On one side, you can really represent some of the things you're afraid of in your life, or you can try to dress up to represent some new intentions that you have set for your life for the rest of this year or for next year. You can sort of think of it as a representation of things you want to transform in your life. So there's a lot of creative ways that you can go about it, but I do think this is still a really wonderful time for tapping into other sides of ourselves and dressing up. Holding silence. This can be a wonderful time for really bringing stillness to yourself and trying to enter into the mystery of what this time provides. So you may want to make some time to do a meditation or just try to again sit in that inner stillness, even just for a few moments, to connect to this season and the spiritual world as the veil between this world and the other thins. Ancestor folklore. Tap into your ancestors by sharing some of the folklore from the regions that your ancestors are from. This is a wonderful way for also tapping into that sort of oral storytelling history that can go around this late harvest season. Again, this is something you can do alone or collectively and have different people share different tales. Prepare your hearth. this is also a wonderful time for preparing for the winter season that is coming. So you may want to do some cleaning and some cozying up of your spaces to prepare for, again, that winter season that's coming, for really long nights and cool to cold evenings. So you may want to make some time during this late October to really prepare your hearth for the winter to come. Divination. This is an auspicious time for doing some divination if it's something you enjoy doing and are comfortable doing. So you may want to pull out your tarot cards to do some tarot readings, or perhaps you have a favorite oracle deck. You want to really try to embrace that extra spiritual side that's in the air. Another idea which comes from Poland is you may want to open your windows to allow the spirits, those loving spirits, to come into your home that evening. And of course, these are the spirits that are protecting you, looking after you, and thought about in a positive way, not any sort of sense of negative spirits. So that's another idea you may want to try during this Samhain/Halloween/All Hallows Eve time. For more inspiration for getting into this Samhain, Halloween/All Hallows Eve season, you may want to click into the playlist right here. Thanks so much for spending time with Gently Being.